Are we online? Are we even online or what? Jesus. Okay, are we online? Are we live? I mean, this is the first time I've ever done it. I have no idea how this is gonna pan out. But yeah. Hey everyone, oh yeah, comic book fan number 1, how you doing? Jeez! I take it we're live. I mean, I have no idea how this is gonna pan out. Like I said, this could be a failure. Yo, Sambi explained, I think that's how I pronounce your name, Sambi. How you doing? Thank you for joining this live Q&A. All thanks to all 3,000 few subscribers. I mean, I couldn't have done it without you. And you know, ask me some questions, cause you know this is the live Q&A after all. And you know, alright mate, how you doing, Star Wars Fan 13? Way! Congrats, thank you very much, Sambi. So glad that you appreciate me reaching that milestone. Couldn't have done it without you. Congrats. Oh, you guys, come on. Like, I am actually really nervous right now because I've never done anything like this. Oh, Jesus, 5 people are watching. Damn. I've only been on for like, what, 3 minutes? I haven't even started yet, Jesus. But yeah, this is my delayed 3,000 subscribers Q&A. I had no idea that I was going to pull this off, not even pulling off this Q&A. I have no idea that I was going to do it, but you know, done it. You know, hey, what's up, Lord? How are you doing? I don't even know how to pronounce your name. I'll just call you Prime. How are you doing, Prime? I'm not doing too bad. How about you? Sambi asked, what's your favourite universe? The DCEU or the CW? See, I can't really talk from the top of my head. That's why I prefer doing my videos somewhat scripted. What do you mean? What do I prefer between the DCEU and CW? I think if I have to choose, I would say the DCEU. No, actually no. The CW I think is more. I think it's more focused, I guess. But, I don't particularly watch much of CW, only really The Flash. But even then, I'm not really up to date on that, because it's kind of going, eh. Star Wars Fan 13 asked, where are you from? You sort of sound like you're from Liverpool, but I'm not sure. I'm from Liverpool too. Yeah, I'm from Liverpool. I am a Scouser. You know, I'm actually surprised how a handful of people have noticed that in the past. Like, it's really, baffling how people are like, oh, are you a Scouse? And I'm like, yeah. Hi Camden, how are you doing, buddy? Great to see that you're on this live stream. By the way, is this all going fine? Because I have no idea on whether or not this is going well for you guys. Like, is there any lag? Is it doing fine? Just let me know, because I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off. It's still doing fine. It should be streaming. Hello, Lord's Legion. How are you doing, Jaden? Oh, nice. You go to Worlds Apart in town? Oh, absolutely. Worlds Apart is like the place to go to. Believe me. I actually love Worlds Apart. Especially, also the other one. Forbidden Planet. That's the one. Love the place. Congratulations, you've done a good job on the subscribers. Love your voice for Mysterio also. What villain would you like to see in live action, both Marvel and DC? Thanks very much, Brad. I'm so glad that you liked my Mysterio voice for the Lego Spider-Man series. I am going to come back for that at some point. It's kind of a case of when the guy wants me back. As for villains that I would like to see in live action, I want to see Carnage at some point, because he's like the one villain that I've been waiting to see in live action, whether it'll be in the MCU or the Venom movie, I don't know. Have you seen Ready Player One? Just coming from Silly Universe. No, I'm not particularly interested, to be honest. I've heard good things about it, but it's all about, you know, nostalgia and stuff like that. I'm not too fussed about that, to be honest. Zambi Explained asked, would you like to see Jared Leto to would you like Jared Leto to return as the Joker? I don't know, because, truth be told, I don't think he was necessarily a bad Joker. I just think he didn't have enough time to really blemish, really. I don't think he really had the opportunity to come back. I don't know. I think he didn't do very good in Suicide Squad because he wasn't given the chance. But I think if he was given the right material, then I think he'll do fine. I think he could pull off a good Joker. That's all I'm going to say. Do you collect any action figures or Funko Pops? Yes, actually. I do have plenty of Pops. To kind of name, I've got Carnage Pop, I've got a Marceline Pop, the one where she has the guitar. I also have the V for Vendetta Pop, the Joker from Arkham Asylum, I've got Reaper from Overwatch, got the X-Force Deadpool, Hellboy, Hela, Nemesis, Scorpion, Black Panther, Pennywise from the It remake, the limited edition Martian Manhunter Pop, and lastly, my personal favourite, the Ghost Rider Pop, who actually has his Hell Cycle. Sorry, Silly Universe asked, which Spider-Man franchise do you prefer, the Sam Raimi or the Amazing Spider-Man franchise? Personally, I prefer the Amazing. I know I'm in a very small minority, but truth be told, I don't think the Raimi series has aged really well. And despite the flaws that the Amazing Spider-Man series had, I think they're pretty good, all things considered, and I especially love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Like, he's better than Tobey Maguire on pretty much every level. What are your predictions for MCU Phase 4? I've done a video relatively recently on that, so if you want to check that out, but I think we're gonna get, like, sequels for the likes of Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Guardians 3, Spider-Man 3, as for, like, new franchises, maybe a Nova or Thunderbolts. I have no idea. Hi Tevia, how are you doing? You've been there for a very long time. How are you doing? Jaden asks, could the Transformers storyline or Hail Megatron work as a prequel movie? Wait, isn't this the Megatron's origin? Like, where he was, like, a miner for the Autobots and then he went rogue? Is that what you're talking about? Because if you're talking about that, whoa! Damn it. Excuse me, that was my, Pepsi. But yeah, if you're talking about Megatron's origin, like, when he was a miner and then he went rogue and then he ended up becoming a gladiator, I think that could really work for a Megatron solo movie. That would be awesome. Are you excited for Spider-Man PS4? I'm not exactly too hyped. I know many people are, but I don't know. It just doesn't tickle my fancy. Also, the fact that I don't have a PS4, so, you know, there's that too. Nice. I collect Marvel Legends. I didn't really have many. I had a few. Like, mostly the Skrull and the Brood. I think it came from some pack, but it's long lost because I kept moving from house to house. Waru Boy, I think that's how I pronounce your name. Waru Boy asked, favourite Spider-Man suit? Probably the Iron Spider from Civil War. I'm not talking about from the MCU. I think it looks okay, but I honestly really love the Iron Spider design, especially with the arms. Zambi asked, do you think Marvel can revamp the Inhumans? At this point, just reboot the Inhumans from the MCU. I don't care that, you know, the TV series was already in the MCU, but just reboot it and put it onto live action movie. Like, just make a film out of the Inhumans. I think just leave them for a few years, let the brand just heal its wounds, and then bring them back. That's how I would do it. What do you think of the Marvel comic relaunch? Maybe it's a good step in the right direction. I mean, at least they have the old heroes back and that they have some decent writers. Tevia asked, also, any opinion on the upcoming God of War game? I don't play God of War, Tevia. I don't play any PS4 games. You know, I don't really play that much video games, to tell you the truth. I've never been too fond of God of War to begin with. No, I'm actually really stoked how this live stream is going so far. I'm getting a lot of questions and a lot of people are, yeah, I honestly, it's doing so well. Jaden asked, what's your favourite anime? I don't watch anime, but I hate to sound like a basic bitch, but I'm going to say Dragon Ball Z. That's the one I've grown up with the most. So for that reason, I'm just going to say Dragon Ball Z. Tevia asked, do you think the death of the Inhumans is going to kill off the Inhumans in the comic books? It'll kill off a hand. I don't think it's going to kill. I don't think the series is going to kill all of the Inhumans, but I think there will be a fair. I think there'll be a fair share of Inhumans that they will kill. Like, maybe they'll kill off Maximus, maybe they'll kill off Karnak, maybe Crystal. I don't know. I don't think they'll kill off someone like Black Bolt, and even if they do kill off all of them, I honestly think they'll come back within a matter of years, and then hopefully they'll try again with the Inhumans and make the actual film. Because I'd rather see an Inhumans movie than an Inhumans Season 2. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone is with me on this one. Who's your favourite Spider-Man? Tom, Toby, or Andrew? Mine's Tom. Yeah, Tom Holland's definitely my favourite. I honestly love Andrew Garfield as well, despite how many people give him crap, because, you know, the Amazing Spider-Man kind of flopped. But honestly, he did a fantastic job as Peter Parker. And Tobey Maguire, I am not a fan, and he cannot act for shit. Andy asked, have you been to the circus before? I think I have once years ago, but nah. I don't really go to circuses very often. The last one I've been to, I must have been around 10. Any opinion on My Hero Academia? I don't know what that is, Tevi. I'm assuming this is some anime. I don't watch anime. Do you think they'll kill off more Sass? I don't know who that character is. Silly Universe asked, do you agree that Mary Jane is one of the worst parts of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man? How one of the biggest problems with Spider-Man 2 that focuses on Mary Jane too much? Absolutely, Mary Jane sucks. Kristen Dunst is a terrible actress and was a terrible MJ. I wonder if there will be a Namor comic in the Marvel relaunch. I mean, you never know. I mean, is Namor still a villain in the comics? Like, I've lost track. Like, did Namor even return ever since Secret Wars? Because I can't remember anything from him ever since after the events of 2015 Secret Wars. Do you like the Marvel Zombie universe? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Nothing high art, but, you know, it's fun for what it is. I actually like the Marvel Zombies. I hope at some point they'll do something with the Marvel Zombies, or at the very least kind of use that concept, because for all we know, we do have the Marvel Multiverse at this point, or the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, so you never know, maybe we'll see, like, some zombie MCU characters at some point, or I hope so, anyway. Ooh. Jeez. I am not used to the live stream, but I'm so glad that a lot of people are asking me a lot of interesting questions. Feel free to ask me as many as you want, even if some of them are personal. Prime asked, what are your thoughts on the MonsterVerse? I wasn't too fond of the Godzilla film. Well, what was it? Kong Skull Island, I think it's called. I didn't mind that one. That one was actually kind of fun for what it was. Admittedly stupid, but it was fun for what it was. At the very least, it knew what it was trying to be, and it succeeded on being this fun monster film. As for the MonsterVerse in general, honestly, I don't know. Because they don't really have much of a plan. They've got Godzilla King of Monsters next, and then they have Kong vs. Godzilla, and then what's gonna happen next? I mean, is it just this short universe? Like, I don't know. Tevi asked, do you think Mary Jane and Peter Parker will become a couple? Well, do you think Mary Jane and Peter Parker will become a couple in the future someday within the comics? Yeah, yeah, bring them back. Yes, bring back Peter Parker and Mary Jane as a married couple, honestly. I've heard they've done that in an alternate reality, which is known as, in the comics, Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, and I've heard that's really good. I haven't really read much of it. Silly Universe asked, what movies you hate but everyone else loves? I can't think of much from the top of my head. If I was to think of overrated films, I think Thor Ragnarok personally is really overrated. Many people say that Thor Ragnarok is one of the best films in the MCU, and honestly, I don't think it's even as good as everyone else makes it out to be. Star Wars Fan 13 asked, who's your all-time favourite superhero? Hate to be cliche, but Spider-Man. Like, I grew up with Spider-Man, so I'm gonna go for him for that reason alone. Turvey asked, do you think the Ultimate Marvel Universe will ever come back? Yeah, I mean, they've already revived the Ultimate Universe in the last issue of Spider-Man 2, where we do have the revived Ultimate Universe, or at the very least an alternate version of the Ultimate Universe. So maybe that is a sign to come, and I have heard that there will be a complete event between the Ultimate Universe and the 616 Universe. So hopefully we'll get something then. Dragon Force asked, are you excited for Aquaman? Honestly, yeah. I mean, sure, it's kind of like, honestly, I'm really excited for Aquaman because it's James Wong who's directing this film, and I am a fan of his work. And not to mention, you know, it's at Atlantis. You can see a lot of underwater stuff, and let's be real, it's pretty interesting. We haven't really seen anything like it yet. Though, I don't know, because a lot of people seem to be really down on this Aquaman movie because it's kind of the last film within the Snyder era of the DCEU. Because they were pretty much doing the Aquaman filming, like, while they were pretty much doing the post-production of Justice League. So, you know. Spider-Man is mine too. Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't love Spider-Man? Come on. Phew. Personally, what blows my mind with the whole Spidey marriage situation is that we have a married Superman. Yeah, exactly, like, Superman has been married with Lois Lane for years. And they even have a son. I mean, it's a good job that they have finally brought him back with Lois Lane instead of Wonder Woman, because honestly, I never digged that couple to begin with, and I don't know why they stuck with that couple for so long. Thoughts on the Deadpool series coming this summer? What series? What, you mean the animated series that was coming this summer? That's cancelled, or has it been revived? Like, has it been revived? I have no idea, but Oh shit, I forgot about Zillow Universe's a little question. Do you think Steppenwolf's original design looked better in the concept art? I've seen plenty of Steppenwolf concept art, and honestly, he was just a grey monster. Personally, I'm one of the rare people who actually like the Steppenwolf design from Justice League, although, truth be told, he looked terrible with the CG work, but as far as designs go, I mean, it was as good as he was going to get. Star Wars Fan 13 asked, do you think Miles will become Spider-Man in the future of the MCU, or have him be a sidekick? Yeah, I think they're going to build up to Miles Morales. They've already built him up in Spider-Man Homecoming with that brief little Easter egg. Yeah, I think they will do Miles Morales, but I don't think it'll be till way down the line. Tevi asked, who for record I really love, and that's why we can't wait. Yeah, like I said, I didn't really like One More Day. It didn't make any sense, and at this point, I think it's long enough. Like, just bring back Peter Parker and MJ and have them be married again. Come on. I hope that there's another... I hope that there is another Marvel DC crossover. Yeah, there hasn't been many recently. Like, I don't know why. I mean, come on. But although there was a bit of a cameo where I can't remember which comic it was. It was from a recent event from Marvel, where we do get to see all the Captain Marvels, and if you see in one of the pages, you actually get to see Shazam, but like the colouring was slightly off, so it kind of confirmed that the DC universe is part of the overall Marvel multiverse, which was really interesting. Sorry to tell you, but your stream keeps bluffering. I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what's going on. I am completely new with this, and I don't know how to fix it. I really don't know how. I'm really sorry. I think it may be my terrible internet, maybe. I don't know. But, ugh. Have we got any more questions? Or are we pretty much done? Well, my hands are really sticky because my Pepsi kind of exploded earlier. Jesus. Does anyone know how to actually fix the live stream? Because this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm still waiting on some Hellboy reboot news. Same. I'm really excited for this Hellboy reboot. And I'm hoping that it still comes out in 2018, because if you remember, I did do a top 10 most anticipated comic book films of 2018, and Hellboy was actually pretty high up there for me. And already we have 2 films, New Mutants and Dark Phoenix, that came out, that were supposed to come out in 2018, and now they've been pushed back to 2019. I hope the Hellboy reboot doesn't have that fate, but, you know, I have high hopes for it. Thoughts on rumours saying Woody Harrelson will play Carnage in Venom? Is Carnage even in Venom or not? Like, I hear one rumour saying that Carnage is, and then another one saying, oh, he's only going to be in a cameo, and then some saying, oh, he's not even in the movie at all. I mean, truth be told, I think Woody Harrelson would do a fine job, but honestly, I would rather see Jackie Earle Haley as Carnage, but like, he is like my #1 casting for Carnage. Do you think Marvel Comics needs a reboot within their universe? No, I think the Marvel universe, in the comics at least, is doing okay. Like, I know like the writing's not the best, but I do think that the overall universe is fine, and here's hoping that this fresh new start within the Marvel universe will be a lot stronger. Sambi asked, do you think Cameron would be a good Carnage in the MCU? Is this the same guy who plays as Jerome in Gotham? Because if that's the case, that would be really cool, and I would love to see that. But again, Jackie Earle Haley, he's my #1 choice. Silly Universe asked, have you seen Pacific Rim? Yes, but I haven't seen it in years. Honestly, I thought it was okay, and it was a lot of fun for what it was. I haven't seen Pacific Rim Uprising, and I have no plans on doing it either. Radioactive Gecko, I think that's your name, asked, Sony has been trying to make that Venom movie since Spider-Man 3. Just like how Fox has been developing that Gambit movie. Yeah. Honestly, Sony needs to give up with that shared universe. I mean, I have no problem with a Venom solo movie, but just put in the MCU for everyone's sake. Jeez, apologies for that pop-up. Any opinion on the New Age of Heroes? Because me personally, what is the New Age of Heroes? Please enlighten me, because I don't know what the New Age of Heroes are. Like, is this like the new DC event or something? Because I haven't heard of it in my life. Jesus, my hands are really sticky. Whoa! Can't believe I've been doing this for like almost half an hour. I think we'll stay on for another half an hour. That way we can have at least 1 hour, and then I'll cut it. I'll finish it off. Sony has... don't even get me started with that Mysterio and Kraven movie. Or would they both, like, separate movies? Because, personally, the way I see it, if you're gonna do Mysterio and Kraven, just put them in the Homecoming sequel. I mean, it's so straightforward. Put Mysterio and Kraven, put them in Spider-Man 2, or even use Mysterio for Spider-Man 2 and Kraven for Spider-Man 3. I mean, it's not that difficult, come on. New question, any opinion on Nick Spencer writing The Amazing Spider-Man? Yeah, a lot of people seem to be sour about this after the Secret Empire debacle. I honestly did enjoy Secret Empire up until the final issue, because by that point it was like, oh no, let's go all the way back and say that evil Steve Rogers is now from an alternate universe. I mean, it was so half-assed. And the way everything kind of reverted back to normal was also half-assed. What are your casting choice for the Batgirl? Emma Stone, probably. I mean, I know it's generic, but honestly, I think she would really do well as Barbara Gordon. Do you think the New Mutants will be the last Fox X-Men film? Most likely. Like I said, I'm still really excited for the New Mutants, but I'm also incredibly worried at this point, because why would you delay it all the way to August? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. The New Age of Heroes are a byproduct from the Dark Knight's metal. I'm not familiar. Damages the Hulk. Oh, so it's like alternate versions? I have no opinions on that, bud. I really have no real opinions on that, because I don't have any idea on what that is. Ooh. I mean, how are you guys enjoying the live stream so far? Do you think, like, buffering aside, do you think that this is an interesting live stream? Do you think I'm doing a good job? Because honestly, I don't know. I'm still trying to come to terms with it. Like, this is all new to me. I'm willing to do more of these down the road, but I don't know. I'm still pretty you know. Has anyone got any more questions? Or even questions about, like, what I might do video-wise, because I do have a lot of interesting video ideas. What villain role for Spider-Man? Oh, Matt Damon turned down the villain role for Spider-Man 2. Isn't he a comedic actor? Because if that's the case, I could see him as Mysterio, or maybe even... yeah, probably Mysterio, I feel. Although, personally, I would rather see Mark Hamill be Mysterio, even though many people have been, like, clamouring for him to be Doc Ock, which he would do a pretty good job, don't get me wrong, but I think Mysterio would be a much better fit for Mark Hamill. X-Men, Fantastic Four are going to be in the MCU soon. And Sony should just give up to Spider-Man, and Universal should give up on the Hulk. That way you can finally have a complete, cohesive Marvel universe in film. Absolutely, I couldn't have said it better myself. Abraham, is that how I pronounce your name? Sorry if I butcher it, but he asked, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Titan series? I'm interested. I'm not particularly excited, per se, but I am pretty curious about it, because apparently the budget for this is incredibly high. So I'm really curious to see on what's going to happen in the future, or how it's even going to look like. Because I've heard so many different things, like Jason Todd is going to be in there, they're going to do Trigon, Brother Blood. You know, it's crazy. Plastic Man vs. Superman. I don't really know how powerful Plastic Man really is. Like, I know he's incredibly powerful from Dark Knight's Metal, but I don't know the extent of his full-on powers, so I can't really judge. Enjoying the live stream, aside from the buffering, you're doing fine. Thanks very much. Again, I'm really sorry for the buffering. I don't know how to fix that, but don't worry. Like, if you're struggling with the live stream, this will be up once I'm done with the live stream. So don't worry. You can watch it all over again. Good job with the live stream. Thank you very much. Tevi asked, it's an interesting live stream, but the buffering does get annoying, and I can deal with it. You know, again, I can't stress this enough. I do apologize, but you know, thank you for sticking. Jaden asked, have you read Transformers More Than Meets the Eye comic? No, not onto that comic. What are your video plans for the future? Oh, that's a really interesting one, because okay, I want to talk about the next episode of The Best Villains Ever. I think it's this one or this one. The next one I'm going to be doing will be The Juggernaut. And this one should be released around the same time as the New Mutants original release date, which I really want to do that because I really wanted to do The Juggernaut for a long time, and I had it slated for April, and now it's like, you know, yeah, so Juggernaut, and then, as for Comic Combat, you know, people are probably going to ask me about that. I'm still going to do Comic Combat at some point. It's just the co-host, you know, he's really busy at the minute, but I'm just waiting for him to be free, and then we can finally do Comic Combat. But, you know, but yeah, I do have some interesting ideas down the line, but honestly, I just, you know, wait. Hi Grim Crusade, sorry for keeping you hanging. Tevia asked, new question, I'm just wondering, would you like to do a team up video with me someday? Absolutely, Tevia. Like I said, I am open for more collaborations. Just message me on YouTube and we can discuss things together and we'll see how things will work out. Like, so long as we have interesting ideas, I'm more than happy to help you out. Star Wars Fan 13 asked, do you like Star Wars? Love Star Wars. You know, yeah, I really do love Star Wars. Like, I only really watch the movies, but I'm not particularly invested with the expanded lore and stuff. So, you know, I'm more of a casual fan than a die-hard Star Wars fan. But yeah, I do love Star Wars, regardless. Any opinion on the Super Sons series ending? I don't read Super Sons, although I do hear that it really does help Damian Wayne's character, and even Clark Kent's son. I don't know what his name from the top of my head. Like, I heard he's a really enjoyable character. But yeah, you know, I heard it had a pretty good run though. So I mean, on one hand, it would suck for a good comic book series to end, but at the same time, it's better to like end on a high as opposed to just stretching it down to the point where it's shit. Silly Universe asks, do you think Disney should not buy anything next? Yeah. Because by that point, if Disney buys something else like Sony or Universal, you know, it is going to be a major monopoly. You can't do that. You know, let the other companies merge themselves, and in that way, the monopoly wouldn't be such a huge issue. Wouldn't it be cool if Disney adds the X-Mansion or the Baxter Building in the Marvel? Yes! Yes! Absolutely, I would love to see that. That would be so kick-ass. Just imagine, like, I don't know, someone should play as Charles Xavier, just come in and recruit a whole bunch of kids. I don't know, that would be really cool. The Tropical Ace asks, will you do more concept art videos? Yes, the next one will be the DCEU, for sure. Like, I want to give it a bit more room because I don't want to, like, stretch them out so much. Are you working on the next concept art video on the DCEU? I'm not working on it at the minute, but that is high on my agenda. I'm going to, I'll give it at least another week or two, and then I'll do that, because I've got a lot of things to catch up on. Like, I need to do the Infinity War review once that's up, as well as catch up on the other, like, the other films within the MCU as part of the Path to Infinity War. I still need to get all of them done before Infinity War. So, yeah. Your live stream's good, mate. I think maybe if you could play a game or something instead of looking at the pic... Sorry, I don't particularly play video games. But yeah, the reason why I have the thumbnail on is because I don't really want to show my face. Not because I am... Not that I'm afraid of my face or anything like that, but it's more of the case of the fact that I don't particularly... You know, the webcam is pretty crappy, and I just don't want to use that, per se. But, you know, it's not like I haven't done a face reveal already. Like, I've shown my face before. It's just that when I did a face reveal or anything like that, it was when I had relatively low subscribe count. So, you know, there's that. Have you heard of the early test screenings for Infinity War? No? Are you talking about the first 30 minutes of Infinity War? I haven't particularly bothered to check what happens within the first 30 minutes because honestly, I didn't want to ruin the surprise or anything like that. Have you read Batman Heart of Hush, written by Paul Dini? No, although I have read Batman Hush, which is absolutely amazing. It's easily one of the best storylines ever. Star Wars Fan 13 asked, how old are you? I am 19, believe it or not, and I will be 20 on August 14th this year. New question, how do you feel about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse including other Spider-Man? Because personally, my opinion, the only of Spider-Man I would want to see is Spider-Girl, aka Mayday Parker. Honestly, I think it's too soon for Spider-Verse. Like, I don't mind the idea of a Spider-Verse movie, because that in itself is really cool. But if you're going to introduce Miles Morales, who is this new Spider-Man who most people haven't seen before, like, at least the mainstream audience, why would you shoehorn in Spider-Verse, where Miles Morales will probably get overshadowed by other Spider-related characters like Peter Parker, Spider-Man 2099, Mayday Parker, whoever else. You know, the way I see it, I think, yeah, they shouldn't do that. Jaden asked, what are your thoughts on the Spawn reboot? I really want to see a Spawn film, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it's going to be more of a horror film and not so much of a superhero film, and that they're going to change Spawn's character drastically apparently to more of this ghost figure, that has me a bit weird. You know, it has me a little concerned, but I don't know. And it also doesn't help that Todd McFarlane hasn't directed the film in his life. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. Jalen asks, "Hi, Lord's Legion. How are you?" Sorry, I'm leaving. So bye, Scylla Universe. Great to see ya. Are you going to make a video on the DC? Yes. And also, congrats on the 3,000. Thank you very much. Like I already said earlier, yes, I am doing the DCEU concept art video. That is next. I'm going to do it within the next 2, maybe 3 weeks max. Because, like I said, I don't want to stretch these videos out too much. Because I want to leave a bit of room between one concept art video and the next. What are your favourite members of the Justice League, X-Men and the Teen Titans? Favourite Justice League member, Martian Manhunter. Favourite X-Men, probably Jean Grey? Maybe, ooh, excuse me, or Beast, or Nightcrawler, one of them three. And Teen Titans, Raven. What are your thoughts on the Action Comics 1000? Isn't that Superman's anniversary where he's going back to his trunks? If that's the case, you know, good for him. You know, it's good to see that they're sticking with the 1000 and that they're going to not relaunch it. Marvel should recast the main X-Men franchise and leave the Fox universe to die minus Deadpool. Yes, I agree. You know, just finish the X-Men universe after Dark Phoenix, reboot them, recast everyone, put them in the MCU, and then we'll all be good. Do you think Batman is oversaturated? That is a major understatement. Batman is incredibly oversaturated. What are your thoughts on the Shazam movie coming up real soon? I don't know, I have mixed thoughts. Like, on one hand, it's good to see that DC are trying to be more fun with their movies, but on the other hand, I'm skeptical because it might come across as, I don't want to say Suicide Squad levels, but maybe? I don't know. I'm skeptical. Have you seen the new footage for Spider-Man PS4? I'm not up to, I'm not really too excited for Spider-Man PS4. I don't have a PS4. Here's a great idea for your video series, Comic Book Origins. Well, the best villains ever is effectively a comic book origin series where I focus on the villains' backstories, abilities, greatest feats, and why I love them so much, which is kind of my favourite videos to do because it's kind of why I like, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to focus on the best villains ever, and I don't know, it's really cool to look at different villains from all genres and all that stuff. Favourite comics of all time? I don't know. Can't think of many from the top of my head. Do you think Warner Brothers should abandon the whole cinematic universe? Just do a false reboot, maybe? I don't know. Like, I don't think anyone has an idea on what to do with the DCEU at this point. I mean, standalones is maybe a good step in the right direction. Hey Lord's Legion, I've heard that Thanos' origin story was cut from Infinity War. So long as Thanos' origin, I mean, his motivations rather, are well established, and that we do get to see glimpses of his backstory, so that it makes enough sense, and we can see where he's coming from, that's fine. Well, you know, we don't need an entire 30 minutes of his entire origin like the Thanos Horizon, you know, comic. Tropical Ace asks, it wasn't the 30 minutes, it was just the extended versions of the scene that was in the trailer footage. The reviews are positive, and the best part is that they didn't show the entire... Ah, okay. So they showed a bit more of Infinity War. Tevia asks, question, how do you feel about Laura? Oh, that is so disappointing. Laura was supposed to be Wolverine for years. I mean, it sucks for her to finally come back as X-23 because I really like her as the all-new Wolverine. She was awesome. You know, like, she was destined to be Wolverine for years, and then she finally gets that mantle, and all of a sudden, Wolverine comes back. Which, granted, it is a good enough time to bring back Logan, but at the same time, it kind of sucks that X-23 has to suffer from that. Whew. Favorite superhero, Spider-Man, or the answer to that one? It is Spider-Man, Peter Parker, specifically. Grew up with him, so for that reason, Spider-Man. No, I just want to say right here now, I appreciate everyone who's watching the live stream right now and give me a lot of really interesting questions. Because, truth be told, this is really good and I'm surprised that this is actually keeping up with the momentum. It's really well appreciated and you guys are just the best. I just want to say it right now, while we do get a bit more questions for me to ask. Comic Book Fan 1 asks, what do you think of the Bat and the Cat getting married in Batman number 50? The Batman comics, or at least the main Batman comics, have not been very good recently. Like, they're all over the place, especially with Ivy's arc, which was so stupid. I don't mind the idea of Batman getting married with Selina Kyle, per se, or Catwoman, but, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna last. Favourite TV show growing up? Mine was the 90s Spider-Man or the 90s X-Men. Favourite TV show? I mean, my favourite cartoon back in the day was Ed, Edd and Eddy, or The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It's one of the two for me. I honestly really loved Cartoon Network back in the day. I wasn't particularly too fond on the 90s Spider-Man, although I do love the 90s X-Men. I wasn't too crazy about X-Men Evolution though, although maybe I should check back on that because I've heard it has aged fairly decently. Though nothing can top Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, at least in terms of Marvel cartoons, because that was something really special. That as well as Wolverine and the X-Men. I absolutely loved both of these shows and they were cancelled way too soon. Do you like the character Cyclops? Because I know a lot of people think he's a douchebag. Cyclops is kind of bland for the most part, but he was interesting when he went full-on terrorist, and he was like working with Emma Frost and Magneto and stuff. I think that was when he finally got interesting. I know many people didn't like that turn for the character, but honestly, I actually really like that turn for Cyclops. I know the animation side of Marvel is trash nowadays, but I would love to see an R-rated Marvel Zombies animated movie. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting, to say the least. Yeah, the Marvel animation these days is absolutely god-awful. Like, the Marvel Spider-Man series, I think that's what it's called, Marvel Spider-Man, the newest cartoon. That one, oh no, that was such a letdown, and I don't know if it's worse than Ultimate, but at the very least, the last season of Ultimate Spider-Man was actually pretty decent. And then, don't even get me started on Avengers Assemble, because they're just making up shit as they go along. Most underrated DC hero? I'm guessing you are asking me that question. Most underrated DC hero? Martian Manhunter, I think is a safe one to say. Do you think Zemo could come back as a villain? I'm guessing you're talking in terms of the MCU. Absolutely, he's still alive. They could easily bring him back, make him the Baron, give him the mask, give him the sword, and then he could lead the Thunderbolts, because that's something I would really want to see. Bring him, Vulture, bring Thunderbolt Ross and turn him into the Red Hulk, bring in Abomination, and so many other villains, like even Songbird. I would love to see Songbird in this Thunderbolt movie. And yeah, we are all a winner when we see the Thunderbolts. And I know that apparently they're doing this in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but nah, they're just gonna butcher it. Like, honestly, I am not too thrilled about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doing Thunderbolts. But then again, maybe they're going to rebrand the Thunderbolts for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know. I know they're building up to something. Whoa. Oh shit, I forgot about a question. Sorry Jalen, I completely missed your question. What have your thoughts on Donny Cates writing Venom. He's doing amazing with Thanos, and now he's going to be writing Venom and Doctor Strange. So, you know, I can't wait. He's like easily one of the best writers for Marvel right now. What are your expectations for the upcoming Death of Superman animated series? Yeah. Nah, I am not excited. It looks absolutely god-awful. I don't like any of them DC animated movies as of late. The only one I really like is Justice League Dark, because they really went creative with that one. But most of them are just so centered around either Batman, Superman, or Damian Wayne. And honestly, they're all assholes in this, like, DC animated universe. I think that's what they're gonna call it now. I don't know. By the way, Superman's son is... Okay, John Kent. Thanks, Tev, yeah. Thanks for correcting me, it's John Kent. It was kind of in the back of my mind, but... yeah, I don't know too much about the character in all fairness. Do you think the Venom symbiote can appear in Avengers Infinity War or Avengers 4? I mean, you never know, but I think the chances are relatively slim. But then again... crazier things have happened in the MCU before, so I wouldn't be too surprised. Because for all we know, apparently the Silver Surfer might be in Avengers Infinity War, but I don't know. I think by now, if he was, then something has got to have been leaked. And I'm not talking about that false Silver Surfer concept art video leak, because that was utter bollocks. 1 sec, I'm gonna... clean my tongue. Do you think Helena Wayne or Helena Wayne is going to exist within the DC Rebirth universe? Isn't she already in the DC Rebirth universe, or is she, or did she come back but she was called something else entirely? I mean, if that's the case and that she has yet to appear in DC Rebirth, then yeah, that would be really exciting to see her come back. Would you see Moon Knight as a movie or Netflix series? Netflix, there's no two ways about it. I think Moon Knight would work better as a Netflix series, but if it was to be a movie instead, I don't care. I want to see Moon Knight in the MCU ASAP. He's like the one character I can't wait to see in the MCU. I really want Earth's Mightiest Heroes to come back next to Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, again, the Spectacular Spider-Man series, I really love the cartoon, and I really want to see where Season 3 was going to go, because they had so much planned, and they were going to even do movies based on the Spectacular Spider-Man, like direct-to-DVD movies, which would have been awesome, and it would have been a great, you know, little expansion. Marvel Spider-Man, yeah. Marvel Spider-Man is really disappointing. Easily one of the worst things I've seen, like, in terms of Marvel animation. And that's saying a lot, because Avengers Assemble is absolutely terrible. And even the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon is pretty lackluster at best. If you had any show to revive, which one and why? Personally, I would rather see Earth's Mightiest Heroes getting revived. However, I think Spectacular Spider-Man deserves that revival more than anything else, because there were so many plot threads that have been left out from Season 2 that haven't even been explored. Getting tired of Marvel and Fox screwing over Cyclops. He should have had the same respect, treatment, leadership skills like Captain America. Yeah, I don't know, Cyclops was never a character that appealed to me much. But honestly, what can you do? He's practically dead, and he's probably gonna get killed off in... I think there's like this upcoming event for the X-Men from the past, and that they're going to get killed off, or they're gonna get dragged back into the past. I'm actually surprised that they've lasted this long, honestly. I think now's a good time to get rid of them. Or at the very least, put them back to the past, because they've pretty much overstayed their welcome. I thought they were going to stay there for a year tops. Ooh, excuse me. Any opinion on Legion Season 2? I've seen bits of Legion. Like, I haven't seen all of it, but Legion's really fascinating. I haven't got around to seeing the entire first season, but from what I've saw, it's absolutely stellar. I just need more time to actually watch the first season, but yeah. See you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, comic book fan number 1. Great to see you, bud. Did you see the Fantastic Four? The one that came out on Cartoon Network. That was actually I actually quite enjoyed it back in the day. I'm not sure if it holds up now, because I haven't really seen much. I haven't really seen it in years, but I did really enjoy it back when it was still on. What comic weapon would you combine with a comic character? What, you mean like a powerful object that would be beneficial for a comic book character? That's a bit of a crazy question to ask. If you're gonna include a symbiote, maybe a symbiote Groot? I mean, that's all I can think of from the top of my head. Like a Venom Groot. I'm not sure if that actually happened in one of the comics. I call it the New 52 inspired animated I think I might be well behind at this point. I'm really sorry. Like, I'm not sure if it's just Utevia, but it seems like the live stream is, like, well delayed. I'm really sorry. But either way, I'm not going to stick for much longer. I'll give at least another 20 minutes, because I'm really having so much fun, and you guys are giving me so many interesting comments. Do you think the Red Skull could come back, in the comics or the MCU? Because the Red Skull is currently dead in the comics, and the Red Skull in the MCU is nowhere to be seen. If you're talking the MCU, absolutely, there's always a chance Hugo Weaving is more open into playing the Red Skull once more. From what he's been more open about it over the past few years, so hopefully we'll see him come back. As for the comics, yeah, they'll always bring back the villains. Like, it's a trend. No one stays dead in the comics. We should all know that by now. Sorry for being a bit quiet. I was just waiting for some questions and seeing what's going on. I think after Avengers 4, the MCU should have a soft reboot or a start over. Like, the Fantastic Four should take the place of Guardians Volume 3 and No, I don't think the MCU should be rebooted. I mean, sure. Yeah, it's fine to bring the Fantastic Four and the X-Men to the MCU, but I don't think the MCU as a whole should be rebooted, because the MCU's doing perfectly fine. Like, I do know that Avengers 4 will be kind of the conclusion of the MCU as we know it, but I don't think we really need a complete reboot. No, Helena Wayne was from Air... Oh, okay. That makes sense. I knew Helena Wayne was from some alternate reality, but I thought they kind of brought her back, but kind of given her a new alias so that she wasn't Bruce Wayne's son, or Bruce Wayne's daughter even. I'm so sorry, people can really punch me in the face later. But yeah. But yeah, I knew that Helena Wayne was Bruce Wayne's child in Earth 2, but I thought they brought her back ages ago, but with a completely different name. Whoa! Anyone got any more questions? Because if you guys remain quiet, I will probably end this live stream. Either way, I will probably keep this up for another 20 minutes max, and then I'm really gonna have to call it a day. How would you do a DC Rebirth animated movie universe? Personally, I would love... I don't know, just... make movies, I guess. I don't know how to orchestrate this animated universe, but I don't know. Do you think the New Mutants can get a sequel if the movie is successful enough? No, the New Mutants is dead. I don't think it's gonna be a bomb at this point. That's really unfortunate because, honestly, I blame everyone at Fox for dampening the New Mutants brand. Like, by the time it gets released on August or maybe even 2022, everyone's going to be sick of it and people are going to be like, oh, it's the new Fantastic. Any opinions on Young Justice Season 2? I haven't seen much Young Justice. I heard great things about it, but honestly, I couldn't get into it. What do you think about the Avengers being Secret Avengers? Oh, you mean the... What do I think of the Avengers 4 title? Honestly, I think there is a good chance that it's going to be Secret Wars. Because where could you go beyond Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity War? Because really, you can't go beyond that. I think it's going to be something like Secret Wars. I don't think it's going to be Secret Invasion. I think they'll save that for Phase 4, Phase 5. But yeah, I think it's going to be something like Secret Wars or maybe even Thanos Triumphant. Favorite DC animated universe show? The Batman. Not the Batman, I mean Batman the Animated Series. That's the one. I hate how animated Marvel... Yeah, exactly. The animated Marvel shows on Disney XD are just pale imitations of, you know, the MCU. They try so hard to be the MCU, but really, no. That's kind of the reason why I hate these shows so much, because they cancelled such greats like If's Mightiest Heroes and, you know, Wolverine and the X-Men for this crap. Favourite Flash villain? Probably Reverse Flash, maybe? I don't know. I don't really know much on... Marvel Spider-Man got a puberty boost bigger than Tobey Maguire. Oh, yes. I don't know. Yes. Jesus, that was a good one. Jaden asked, could Jimmy Hudson, the son of Ultimate Wolverine, get his own comic book series? Maybe. I haven't thought much of it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's enough Wolverine books to cover. I don't know if Jimmy Hudson's going to get one, because either way, he's going to get overshadowed by Logan by the time he does have his own book eventually. Have you read Kingdom Come? No, I heard good things about it though. If Marvel Spider-Man gets cancelled, are they going to make... Yeah, they're probably going to make another Spider-Man cartoon once Marvel Spider-Man's over, but I don't know. Marvel's animation is so stubborn with their projects that they'll keep shoehorning in all of these projects and try to pander with the MCU, even though that's not what we want. We are Groot! Yeah! Do you think a DC movie universe would work if it follows the exact same format as the MCU? No, if it's like if the Green Lantern was good, like the 2011 movie, if that was good, then maybe, yeah, it probably would have been a lot better. You know, have that, Man of Steel, the Batman, Wonder Woman, then have Justice League. I think that would have worked a lot better for DC. I'm glad Marvel's going to kill off the Inhumans in the comics. They're better off as Fantastic Four related characters, and the only one that stuck around are Black Bolt and Lockjaw. Or the only ones that should stick around. Yeah. Like, the Inhumans are only good in small doses, and they shouldn't have been stretched out as thin as they did. Like, I don't think they're really that big of a establishment to really like expand. It's like expanded this since the six. I mean, there's only so much you can do with these characters before it's so stretched out thin, and that's kind of the similar thing with the Inhumans in my mind. Over time, the Inhumans became a bootleg X-Men. Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, it was clear that fucking the Inhumans were only there just to overshadow the X-Men because of the Marvel Fox debacle. You know, yeah. It was clear that they were just spiting Fox by that point, and so they tried to make the Inhumans as the next big thing, and it really backfired on their face, and everyone caught on. So, you know, that was a thing. Except for Gwen Stacy. So I know this live stream seems to be behind, but I don't know what you mean by except for Gwen Stacy. Are we still talking about Marvel Spider-Man or something? Because I've heard she became Spider-Gwen or something. What are your thoughts on Doom Patrol joining the Titan show? I don't know too much about the Doom Patrol, so I can't give a definitive answer for that. Have you seen the Hawk and Dove costumes? Yeah, they look interesting, I guess. I don't know too much about them, about these characters specifically, to really form a legitimate opinion. Although I'm shocked that we haven't seen like other costumes for Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire yet. That's a little weird unless they're going to do some CG enhancements for them costumes and their designs. I don't know. I mean, either way, I'm interested, but I don't know if it's going to be remotely good. Either way, I'll keep my eye out for the Titans TV series, but I don't know. I don't know. Have we got any more questions? Because if you want me to ask you, if you want to ask me questions, then I've got only 10 minutes left. There's like a 20-minute delay or some shit. Oh, that is bad. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, but like I said, like, once I'm done with the live stream, it will be up for everyone to watch in full glory, so I apologise for that. There's nothing much I can do. Final question, favourite evil Dark Knight from Dark Knight Metal? The Batman Who Laughs, easily. Like, I think he should be, like, a reoccurring villain from now on, because that guy is absolutely batshit insane, no pun intended. Like, I honestly think that the Batman Who Laughs is an awesome villain. Tiger asked, what way would you like to introduce the mutants in the MCU? Just say they existed, but they're hidden. Just do something like that. I mean, it could work easily for Deadpool. Like, Deadpool could already exist in the MCU for, you know, just secretly. Mutants, I don't know, just do like in the comics, where they're just, you know, mutants. They were just born with it, I guess. I mean, I've heard Armin from the comic book cast say something like, oh, we should have, you know, this, you know, have them a byproduct of the super soldier serum or something, but I just think that's completely stupid. It reminds me of the Ultimates, and I really don't like the Ultimate comics, apart from the Miles Morales comics, to be honest. Whew. Alright. This is actually getting really interesting. Have we got any more questions for me to ask before I go? Have we got any more questions? Because if we don't have any more questions, then I might call this one a day. Like, granted, I've only got like 9 minutes. And then I'm gonna have to go, and then I'll work on some of this shit. Like, tomorrow I'll probably do the Ant-Man review. And then if there's like other topics that are news, I'll probably cover that. But you know, I don't really have much to work on at the minute. You guys are incredibly quiet now. And ignore that, that is my brother screaming on his Xbox.